For this current event, I've chosen when Alabama played Minnesota and finished the game with 3 players left. This was a very unusual game considering it was one of many games that both teams will play this year. Even though Alabama had 3 players, it was a well-fought victory for Minnesota. This game was very different for Alabama because they had only 3 players. The game started out as normal, with both teams having all players that were going to play. Then there was a fight on the court. The rule is that no players are allowed to leave the bench during the fight. 13 minutes in, the whole bench was ejected for leaving the bench and had to go to the locker room. The head coach and 2 other players were not ejected but were given technicals. Only minutes later, one of the players had fouled out of the game. This means that they would be playing 4-on-5 basketball. With them playing 4-on-5, you wouldn't think things could get any worse for them. Well, a little bit after that, the player fouled out. Another player had to leave with a sprained ankle. This meant that Alabama had only 3 players to play, a filled Minnesota roster. At the end, Minnesota won 89-84. While one of the players for Alabama had 40 points, but it was still not enough to overcome Minnesota. To conclude, Alabama had to finish the game 3-on-5 and lost. The whole bench had been ejected for leaving during a fight. A few minutes later, one of the remaining 5 players had fouled out of the game. Only seconds after the player had fouled out, another player had to leave because of a sprained ankle. Even though Alabama had 3, they still put up a good fight against Minnesota. And I got all my information from ESPN.